did the shoulder trap. So when I would break his posture here, and then you get here, and then you start pulling out the lapels and so forth. You got to set all this up. The hardest part about using lapels is to set them up, okay? So we're here. So this was the posture break, give and take jiu-jitsu. He's posturing up. I feed this right here, okay? Right? I'm moving here, and then there's the egg choke, okay? As we go here, he stops my, right here. There's the Bravo choke, okay? So if I, let's come back in the scissors. If I was here, if I were here, sorry, then I scissor sweep right here. Okay? Look, from the mount. Same thing applies. You're here, right? Posture up and you feed it here. Nice and tight, okay? You're going here, stops. Here, here. Same choke. He doesn't stop you. Same extra. Okay? Also, from here, that's how you really set it up. So, you got the side control. One thing that I want you guys to understand from side control is you have to be able to balance the control between the hip and the head. But I always want an underhook and always am aware of his frame here, and especially this frame here. This frame only works as well as he's able to frame here. The more he frames my hip, the stronger this frame is right here, okay? And he's gonna have it more so at a 90 degree, yeah, right there, because that's the strongest part of the frame. The more up the arm you go, it's the weakest part of the frame. So I gotta be aware of hip, head, and keeping him flat. Oftentimes when you get the side control, there's this struggle where they're fighting very hard just to get out of here. You have to be patient and control the person until they at least wear out. Because now is not the time to submit when they're moving. Because I'm here and my feet are constantly engaged and I'm able to keep him flat, my objective is to keep his back flat as he's moving and negate his movement 1 to 1. He goes +1, I go -1. He goes +1, I go -1. He goes up, yeah, +1, -1, and then I relax. I don't go limp, but I'm relaxed, okay? Because I assume he's probably maybe gonna go that way. He tries to face away from me. I pull here, okay, and I relax. He tries to face into me. I control his head. He tries to face away, or in or away. He makes 2 movements. He makes 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I control. Once I see that he's already kind of losing his desire to struggle, okay, now I can begin to set up my offensive, okay? I have to neutralize him first. Next thing, what I do is go here, okay, and you feed it to this hand here. What I want to do is I want to establish knee to the belly. A couple ways to do it. I'm going to roll on his face right here, put my elbow, put my hand here, hop up right here, and pull this up. Because what I want to do is this right here, okay? And my knee is controlling him here. The great thing about this situation here is that oftentimes you'll want to get the knee off the belly and he'll push it and you'll turn in right into the choke. From here, elbows together, and I want to roll him flat as my left shoulder aims for his face, okay? When you apply enough pressure on their ribs, that free hand will push and they'll turn into it, okay? So you're here, we're controlling him, and my arm goes from his shoulder, so I keep the underhook, to his hip and the head. Meanwhile, my right hip is connected to his right hip, and oftentimes I pinch my right elbow on his hip so that my right hip can stay engaged, because I don't want him to turn. I don't want to let this right hip of his free, because that is half guard and that is open guard and guard recovery. If I leave my hip up, he can very easily immediately put that knee in and right away I'll lose the guard. Side control, remember, is hard to get, easy to lose. Okay? So once I establish here, my right hip is pressing into his hip and I keep him flat. I want my hands and elbows off the mat. Otherwise, all the pressure's gone. I'm creating like a bridge. So once I subdue him, this is why it's very nice to be able to get to an angle north-south, because I'm furthest away from his legs and I'm not really threatened by guard recovery or half guard or anything like that. But in this situation, you're here. You notice I'm rolling my hips. My hips are low. So from here, as I negated his movement here and controlling the head by taking it offline of the spine or pulling it up is very, let's just say, distracting for the person on the bottom. So you're going to take their left lapel, you're going to feed it to your left hand here, and I need to create just enough slack here so that I can begin to work knee to the belly. I can hop up knee to the belly if his knees are open. Here. I can also roll onto his face here and then get the knee to belly like this. Okay? And I keep pulling this in because now I want to feed this here. Okay? And my knee needs to be creating pressure on him as I see this hand here. When he pushes, you're here, and now your chest and shoulders will be flat as I'm aiming my left shoulder towards his face and finishing choke. Super tight, super effective. Okay? You head that way. You can practice keeping him flat, but what's important here is this here. Look, have this. I don't want it too loose. I don't want it too tight because it's going to restrict me here. Okay? I want my belly to be here. If you notice, it's like a sprawl, like in wrestling. So I'm going to roll my left shoulder here, slide my right knee here, and come up, pull, pull. I can mess with this here, but I want to feed this here. The way you feed this is you lift it and you set it in your hand. You do not do this because it's going to be loose. Okay? Here. And I want to pressure on his chest also. So that without decoying it, okay, he pushes the knee because, yes, in right here. As this happens, elbows together and rolling flat. Okay? Elbows have to go to your forearms together. Okay? If you're here and I want this knee to be pushing on his right rib, I don't want to be here, okay? Because the pressure is different. I want this knee to literally be like trying to make a hole in his ribs. If you go too soon, you'll block that. But then you go here, and then you have the Bravo choke, or it's a dorsal double pelvic. Okay, because look, there's the dorsal. Here, this is dorsal. So you have Bravo, dorsal, and choke. Okay, so you're here, fetted here, a little bit of cross face here, knee up. Feed it, forearms, and now my left elbow drives down and my shoulder, and I want to roll them flat. You can do it with the knee on the belly still. As he's trying to push it off, you're here. Okay, so let's try that first. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to do too much of that side control negating, but just get the knee to the belly